Honestly, like, if this gets worse by the week or by the month, I can see Jay-Z, guys, removing himself from Roc Nation, or just moving away from, you know, being the headhunter, the CEO, the top with Desiree, because they are facing lawsuits for their clients so often. It's really insane. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali, daily and consistent content. Let's get straight into this video. Jane Doe versus Lil Uzi and Roc Nation, and JT is also name dropped in this lawsuit. We're going to get through this, where Jane Doe has accused Lil Uzi and Roc Nation of 2 years of sexual harassment, retaliation, wage violations, and exploitative work conditions that forced her to resign. In a 16-page compiled filing by her attorneys, they are stating that Lil Uzi subjected Jane Doe to persistent advances that were very uncomfortable and sexual, explicit messages, verbal abuse from 2023 to 2025, whilst Jane Doe served as Uzi's assistant. Jane Doe claims Roc Nation leadership hired Doe under false promises of performance reviews. Jane Doe reports extreme working hours, 12 to 39-hour shifts. Jane Doe alleges Lil Uzi denied overtime pay, refused her DMs, withheld reimbursements, and forced Jane Doe to cover work expenses herself. Jane Doe claims Lil Uzi retaliated through insults, demeaning language, harassment, often whilst drunk, and whilst escalated in 2024. She claims she suffered emotional distress, burnout, and physical illness, and therefore had to leave, and is seeking not only compensation but is also demanding a jury trial. Roc Nation have yet to reply. It's also been stated that she in December of 2023, defendant Wood's girlfriend, Jatavia Johnson, fired her assistant and obtained permission from him to use plaintiff Jane Doe as her assistant. During the remainder of the month, plaintiff Doe worked for both defendant Woods and Miss Johnson, JT. Plaintiff Doe was never compensated for her additional responsibilities as JT's assistant. So she has now also been dragged into this conversation, and one is now wondering, is that why she has removed herself from the app X, deactivated the account? Cardi B apparently was also tweeting in her private group with her fans that, you know, karma and, you know, the day will come and etc. So I'm not really sure why she's saying that, if it's pertained to this or not, I don't know, but I just think that is unnecessary. Roc Nation here are once again facing more lawsuits of very much uncomfortable working conditions, but also harassment, also sexual harassment, which is very serious, and they want compensation for this. So I feel like there are assets to Roc Nation that are just acting like a liability for Jay-Z, because these are more problems for him outside of everything still going on with Desiree Perez and Damore Hadley. But they have been rocked with this Roc Nation lawsuit, and I do feel like there is a case here, and I do think that she obviously won some things. I can imagine that, you know, Roc Nation will give some money to settle this, and they wouldn't want this to go to trial, so they're going to prevent that from happening. But very unfortunate allegations once again. It's like every other 2 weeks, guys, Roc Nation are attached to some kind of lawsuit, and it's like I really see Jay-Z stepping away like Diddy did with the Revolt. I can see something like that happening in the next decade, because if this keeps happening, they're going to keep coming for the company. You know, everybody wants compensation. Everybody wants to file a civil lawsuit. Everybody is entitled to compensation if they went through everything they've been accused, everything that they are accusing the people of. So, you know, sad state of affairs. Now, Diddy's team are still angry with everything that they've been accused of via TMZ, and this is what they have come to the app X to tweet. The rumors claiming Mr. Combs was caught with alcohol are completely false. His only focus is becoming the best version of himself and returning to his family. Now, this tweet within itself is barely even engaged with, let's just say, which is probably not what Diddy wanted, but clearly they want to do damage control. I believe the article that Diddy was caught with alcohol. Absolutely, I do. The man cannot go into prison and suddenly go cold shoulder, cold turkey, and is on this sober journey after the amount of substances and alcohol that he would take, even up to the day when he was arrested in New York. He had things in this damn hotel room. So I can absolutely believe this, but they're trying to do damage control. They're really upset that this has come out. It's damaging his good behavior in prison, and he could be in there for much longer, and he was refused to transfer units, which is what happens, and you get disciplined. So we will see in the prison records if this is true, but clearly Diddy's team are very angry with this. Janice Combs, guys, is still in trouble because Kirk Burrows is going after Janice Combs once again, saying that he has proof, guys, that she was ready to pay up. Kirk Burrows has accused Diddy's mother, Janice, of secretly holding his bad boy shares for decades. Kirk Burrows is doubling down on his legal battle by targeting Janice in a fresh court filing that claims that she held onto his bad boy entertainment stock for nearly 30 years, guys, then pretended she wanted to pay him back. In a revised complaint, Burrows alleged that Janice Smalls, Diddy's mother, secretly held his 25% stake in the label since the 1990s and purposely misled him for decades. He claims he only discovered in 2024 that she, not Diddy, had been in control of the shares he earned whilst co-founding the hip-hop powerhouse. Burrows says Janice Smalls hid her role for decades and misrepresented her intentions for a few years by requesting his bank details under the guise of restitution. He claims she actually never paid him back and was just lying to his face. The lawsuit portrays Janice Smalls as an active participant in the early days of Bad Boy rather than somebody who was a passive bystander. Burrows argues she works from the label's Times Square offices and continues to earn income from them through operations as well. According to Burrows, Janice Smalls' involvement wasn't limited to the 1990s because he points to 4 separate instances between 1996 and 2021 when she allegedly misled him about the status of his stock. And in one example, he states that she claimed she had never received the shares, and in another, she allegedly told them that the accountants would arrange payment, but that didn't happen. Now, we know that Janice is angry because earlier this week, she called this lawsuit preposterous and is asking the court to dismiss it. Her attorney argues that the case is legally void, expired under the statute of limitations, and lacks jurisdiction. Now, she's been wanting this out because right by Diddy's sentencing in October, she had a lawsuit that was dismissed. So she's on a high from that, and therefore she feels that this situation with Kirk Burrows can also be dismissed. But it looks like Kirk Burrows in this recent filing is not only gunning for Janice and exposing her, but is sending a message to her to say that I am not going anywhere. Just because the Diddy sentencing is over does not mean that your litigation problems are over. We have things to deal with. I want compensation, and Janice is like, I want no part of this. So she is still being dragged through the mud, wig and all, right back to Party City. And Kirk Burrows is saying, I want my money, let's not forget about this. And so he's put up a new recent filing. But the issue that I have is that the court had given Kirk Burrows until August 29th to amend his complaint. He missed the deadline, guys, and then later requested an extension, but also failed to follow through to this extension. So yeah, that in itself to me is very interesting. Who would have thunk it, guys? There is so much litigation going on right now for the whole Diddy clan, the Roc Nation clan, that it's just so much happening. There's even updates with the Demore Hadley, Desiree Perez case, but we have to get into that in a separate video. But when it comes to litigation, it really does not end, but it's a good understanding of where these people are, what they represent, what they are feeling in this moment right now. And yeah, so much has just been happening with Diddy. Who would have thought that after the sentencing there would have been like a whole, at this point, another trial with his updates in regards to prison, because this guy gets moved, then he's doing laundry, then 2 days worth of pictures of him get exposed and released via TMZ, then he's now been accused of drinking alcohol, then he says that he lies. Even before that, there was a whole week back and forth of Diddy apparently being pardoned, then he wasn't pardoned. It's been chaotic, absolutely chaotic with the Diddy updates. We thought this would have ended. I was naive, I'm wrong. This ain't ending after the trial. It really isn't. Subscribe, comment down below, and give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. I'm going to follow the tabs. I'm going to keep tabs on the whole Kirk Burrows versus Janice Smalls case, because this is interesting to me. Do send a tip if you guys wish to. There's a $ sign there. You can send whatever you want. It goes a long way, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.